Asiya, also known as Asiya bint Muzahim, is revered by Muslims as one of the greatest women of all time. Other three are Mary, Khadija and Fatima. She was the wife of the pharaoh, who reigned during Moses' time. The Quran chronicles her as a great person, and she is respected all the more by Muslims as she was married to a man said to be one of the most evil men in history, but never lost faith in God and remained steadfast in prayer and belief. She declared her faith in the message of God after witnessing the miracle of Moses in the court of Pharaoh and after witnessing the death of another believing woman under torture. Pharaoh tried to turn her away from the God of Moses and sought her mother's help, but Asiya refused to reject the God of Moses. On Pharaoh's order, she was tortured to death. Name definition. In Arabic, the name Asiya has many meanings. It can mean the pillar, mediator, supporter, sorrow lifter, and sorrow helper. Tradition. Asiya was the wife of the pharaoh. Unlike her evil husband, she was a pious and believing woman who accepted the faith that Moses and Aaron were preaching. Although she had exceeding wealth, she was not arrogant like the pharaoh. She realized that faith in God was far more important and was thus exalted by God amongst the women of her generation. Asiya and her maids were at the neighboring Nile River one day. To their amazement, they found a crate floating in the river. Asiya immediately ordered the crate to be brought out on shore. Although the maids thought there was a treasure in the crate, they in fact found a baby boy inside. Asiya instantly fell in love with him and knew that this boy, Moses, was no ordinary baby. She told the pharaoh about the baby and convinced her husband to allow the baby to live with them. The wife of Pharaoh said, "Joy of the hour for me and for thee. Slay him not. It may be that he will be used to us, or we may adopt him as a son," and they perceived not. Asiya then offered Moses' mother to live in their household as Moses' wet nurse and paid her for her services, being unaware that the wet nurse was Moses' mother. Thus, mother and son were reunited again. The tradition holds that Asiya worshipped God in secret and praying in disguise, fearing her husband. She died while being tortured by her husband, who had discovered her monotheism. Legacy. It is said that Asiya was a sincere believer and that she fully submitted herself to Allah, despite being the wife of Pharaoh. According to Hadith, she will be among the first women to enter paradise because she accepted Moses' monotheism over Pharaoh's beliefs. The Quran mentions Asiya as an example to all Muslims, and God sets forth as an example to those who believe the wife of Pharaoh. Behold, she said, "O my Lord, build for me, in nearness to thee, a mansion in the garden, and save me from Pharaoh and his doings, and save me from those that do wrong."